I'm just here so I don't get fined.
I'm
Good
not here.
evening, THF Extra
I'm somewhere
Points.
else.
I hadn't timed it.
I don't. I don't want to take any questions. I want you guys to respect my privacy in this time, this difficult time.
All right,
Oh,
guys.
I feel like I'm mourning. I'm in mourning. Okay. So you guys, no joke. I'm angry. I'm very angry. You guys, for like the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it was, Dabs especially, Ray a little bit as well. You've asked us how we're gonna feel if the Cowboys choke, or we were talking last week about McCarthy's job being safe. Is it not safe? Whatever.
I've actually taken a
adamant.
hard stance on this all season.
I was very adamant that the season would be, even if they failed in the end, the season would be somewhat a success because of what Dak was able to do throughout the season, changing to a West Coast, Texas Coast offense, whatever you want to call it, yada yada yada. I was so blinded by stats, regular season stats, that I could not have imagined what happened on Sunday afternoon actually happening. And so I have to be the first one to eat a little bit of crow, and when it comes to McCarthy and McCarthy's job, because I was 1000% adamant that it was safe, and I don't think I could say I believe that anymore when I woke up on Monday morning. Or
Whose
even
job safer, Dax or McCarthy's?
Taxes because of the contract.
Yeah, probably.
Which I don't think is a good thing. I really don't. So the argument
you'd rather have McCarthy stay than Dak?
I think you are more likely to find success elsewhere at quarterback.
Thing is that things need to change, because as a Cowboys fan, especially for you, Jason, because you're a lot older than I am, and I was just being born by the
Shots
time right
fired.
after they won. Anyways, a lot of people have been Cowboys fans for a long time, and when you go through this every single year, obviously every fan isn't the same. Most people want to believe their team's going to do good, but when you go through this every single year, it makes you frustrated because you want to see something change. And all Dak has shown in particular is that he can't change, and that no matter how good he does in the regular season, he can't get it done. And for a while, it's like, oh, just give him a chance. Just let him keep trying. He's going to get better. Look at him in this season. He's breaking records and doing this and that, whatever. And he still just can't get it done. I mean, there's not any excuses. It was a rookie team. The other quarterback was doing his first playoff game, and I think Dak's 2-4 now, 2-5 now. I think it is
2-5.
2-5.
Yeah.
And obviously, I have big respect for the guy as a person, but as a player, you've had so much time, and as a fan, especially with one with high standards like Super Bowl or bust for us Cowboys, I mean, he just can't get it done in the playoffs, and I'm tired of seeing it. Like I said, respect for the guy, but I think this is the point where you start doing something different. Give a rookie a chance. You've seen that it can work in other teams as they progress in the season, but they need time to play in regular season. We saw it with CJ Stroud. He was able to do it. We saw it with a lot of other quarterbacks, their rookie seasons. It's not like we're going to go downhill, but if we do, it doesn't make a difference, because I'd rather be an 8-8 team than in the season every single year with a first round, second round loss in the playoffs, and we just do terrible. Because obviously, I personally am not one of those guys that thinks Super Bowl, every single year and all these crazy thoughts from my own team. But this year, I actually did believe that it could happen because, like Jason was saying, the stats. but it seems like every single year we're just going to prove everyone right. It's the same thing every single year. This year, I thought it was different, really, because we have an all-star wide receiver. We have Dak Prescott's one of the top quarterbacks. We're like a number 3 team and the whole NFL entirely, but that just doesn't matter.
Look, my wife just said it the best. We're in an abusive relationship with the Cowboys. We always think we can change them. We believe in their promises, but we always take them back. And
Yeah.
it's like, you
And
know,
that's
they
my
let us
point.
down.
And you know what? That's actually the best analysis. That really is. And this is we've talked. So I'd like to set the record straight. I have been talking about this all season, at least the back half of the season, where we have been comparing and contrasting teams, the trajectories they're on, the momentum they have, and the standards that they've set. I've talked about the standard in New England has not been met in a long time. But the standard that's been set in Dallas, it's not the team is not living up to it.
Yeah,
And-
it hasn't
and
been.
I have
it
been-
haven't been lived up to since '95.
So
I mean,
we set,
if you want to be
we
honest,
set the precedent early on that the minimum to call it a success was to advance to the NFC title. The standard at this point should be Super Bowl, and we have focused so much on the record-setting offense, which, to be fair, the offense across the entire league was down this season. So the bar was slightly lower, but no one's arguing that it was a great offense, a historic record-setting defense. But none of that matters if what happened Sunday happened Sunday.
Because now it's like if you're a fan,
The
every single year,
the 16-0 winning streak at home means nothing now.
yeah,
No.
yeah,
It
it
meant
doesn't mean
nothing.
anything as a fan.
And I have been harping on this all season that the standard is set in Dallas that a Super Bowl has to be won. And it's the same thing every year. It's the same thing. You guys as fans still have to put up with this.
yeah,
where
and
nothing
to
is changing.
Q's question,
So
Q-
my
Q
question
asked-
is,
hang
ahead.
on, I just want to get to Q's question real quick and interject. He said how much of the blame goes on Jerry Jones, and as a fan that has actually always been kind of in Jerry's corner to a certain extent because I know he'll never go anywhere. I have all the blame for the whole body of work now rests at his feet because he has to do something. He has to do what he's never been willing to do.
So
And
this
he has
goes
to step
back.
down as GM.
So this goes back to the question I've been asking, or I asked earlier in the season, where again we established the standard of success and what we call a success, but what still hasn't been answered, and again this is just the friendly rivalry between the two winningest teams in NFL history. This is not any personal attacks, but you guys have not been able to answer me this question, and now we're really now the question the wolf is at the door. You guys have to face the music. What changes for Dallas as fans for you guys? Because
I think it's the only
the
thing.
Jerry
that
Jones
hasn't
point is
changed.
the Jerry Jones thing is one point, and it's a valid point, but I think that's the least likely. It's going to come down to the quarterback versus the coach. And my take, I actually agree with Janu. I regardless of Dak's MVP caliber season, it means nothing when he chokes it away in the playoffs and can't get to a Super Bowl. So I think the most likely thing that happens is Jerry Jones does something incredibly stupid and fire Mike McCarthy and hire Bill Belichick. Until Bill Belichick signs with the Falcons and they put it on their Instagram page of him in a Photoshop cut off hoodie of Atlanta, I still think that Thursday or Friday of this week, it's going to come out that the Dallas Cowboys have parted ways with Jerry Jones, and that just sets with Mike McCarthy, which is a stupid move. It's a stupid move in my opinion, because I still firmly believe Dak Prescott is the problem. Even though he cleaned it up during the regular season, he turned the ball, he threw less than 10 interceptions. Good for him. He threw 2, what should have been probably 4 interceptions in this game in a blowout, an absolute blowout at home, an embarrassment. So I really think the blame lays on Dak, because you're right.
Now,
You guys have been saying it all season that the play calling and the offense is better with Mike McCarthy at the helm. So I don't think Bill Belichick coming in is going to solve anything. I don't think anyone else or Harbaugh for that matter, anyone else. I really think Mike McCarthy is a good fit, but I
There's
think Dak
definitely
is the wrong
something
guy.
wrong, and I don't know. I don't know that it's all at Dak's feet. I mean, um, like Janu, I like him. I it's a shame that the Packers game went down the way it did for him because he is the face of the franchise. He had a miserable first half, and I don't even really care that he ended up with 400 yards or because none of that really matters.
They
Because
put the backups in.
the defense let us down before Dak had a chance to. We should not have let a rookie and second year squad come into our building where we're 16-0 in the last 2 years and let them run all over us. The defense was absolutely garbage from the beginning of the game through the end. Now, I mean, as a Dallas fan, I know when we play from behind, we lose. Like, that's just how it is. Now, you can say that's a Dak problem, and I'll agree with that. But when you have the defense that says they're the best in the league, they have to and they face a 1 and 2 year team on the that had to travel to us and play in our building. You better stand up and defend your shit, and they didn't. And the rest and it was snowballed, and the rest was downhill. And that's how it's been in just about every game that the Cowboys have lost over the last 2 years.
So
they get behind and they lose.
You're right, but the thing is, they got blown out. They got their doors blown off, and I don't think that's all on the defense.
Continued the whole game.
Because
the whole game.
That you're right. That first half was absolutely horrendous, but he turned the ball over twice. He gave them points twice. Which and again, there were
in the second quarter.
There were two others.
There were two pick sixes.
There were two others that should have been picked, one of which was in the end zone. So you're right. It was an absolute catastrophic failure on all faces.
But it's football, okay? It is football, and everybody's gonna have a bad game. You look at last year, the wild card round of the playoffs. Dak put up a masterpiece to take down Tom Brady and the Bucs. Like, nobody was trying to give us any kind of credit because we were playing a quarterback that we've never beaten. It's Tom Brady. He's going to wipe the floor. Cowboys don't play good on the road. Dak put up a masterpiece. So you can't say that Dak can't perform in the playoffs because he has done it.
Yeah, he's done it. He's had 2 good games. He's lost 5 of them. And they have not gotten over the hump.
You know, like, I just...
Baker Mayfield is 2-1 in the playoffs.
I'm not saying you're wrong, bro. Okay, but
look at
the Cowboys go to the playoffs damn near every year. Baker Mayfield been there 3 times?
He's been there twice.
Who cares? Oh, and he won both of them. Big deal.
Okay, but neither of them have won a Super Bowl. So again, I'm trying.
Baker, you did.
I know. I'm just pointing out that I'm trying to look at things from your perspective as a Cowboys fan. And I think the everything that could have went wrong in this game against Green Bay went wrong. They got pantsed, and really the score seemed closer than it was, but they started performing once the backups came in. It was a catastrophic failure for all three parts of the team in this one particular game, but it's still a trend.
Everybody,
it's still a trend.
Yeah,
and we still hit the same mark every year, where the Cowboys the Cowboys have an excellent season, and then they get bounced in the first or second round of the playoffs. And the common denominator in all of these failures, it comes down to Dak Prescott.
Well, for a certain amount of years, and then it goes to Tony Romo, and I mean, because this is a problem that extends long before.
So
Dak
what
Prescott
changes then?
Was the problem.
Because Jerry Jones isn't selling the team.
No, he's not selling the team. I highly doubt that he'll step down as GM because even if he did, it'd probably be Stephen Jones. And I don't know, man. The only thing, and I thought maybe McCarthy was going to be the answer, because okay, that's number one. Jerry's got to go. Number 2, the Jones family entirely have to go. But neither one of those places,
That's never gonna happen.
Neither one of those things will ever happen in a million years. So, okay, let's talk about what could actually happen. And it starts at the coach. Because, you know what? A lot of less quarterbacks than Dak Prescott have won a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, unless there literally is something wrong with his mental health and he freezes in playoffs, like, and he just can't perform, if he's got performance anxiety for some reason at that level, then he's still capable of winning if he can put up an MVP caliber season, he's capable of winning a Super Bowl. But does he have everything else around him? I think one of the biggest problems with the Cowboys this year was they thought Tony Pollard was the guy. He was not the guy. The Cowboys have a hole at running back.
Oh, you'll have that hole fixed next year.
Yeah, for sure.
Supposedly, yeah, Henry's. But
so that leads into my next question.
All I'm saying is, if you guys didn't see it, go look it up. Look at Michael Irvin's reaction. That's me right now. I am fucking livid right now. I want everybody gone.
So,
like,
so
I want to scrap the whole thing and start all over.
That leads me to my next question, because Dabs and I are on the other side of the aisle here, where we are in the midst of rebuilds. Both of our teams, both of our teams are cleaning out the shop and sending it out to a new renter, which we didn't even discuss yet. That's not even that should be a big part of this episode, and we haven't even touched on it yet. However, the Buffalo Bills are in the same boat where they have everything going for them, and then they get bounced in the playoffs. But the big difference is, aside from this season, them firing their offensive coordinator, they really haven't made many changes. So you guys are pissed now. Will you guys be pissed more so or less so if they say one more time we're going to run it back and don't really make any major changes?
Yeah,
and try again next season, because you guys have progressed now. We went from the second round to now getting bounced in the first, when the bare minimum was the NFC Championship.
I feel like it's the biggest letdown just because of how high the team felt this year, how high our defense and offense felt as a whole. You know, because I was thinking we haven't gone against that many good teams this year, sure, but we did just go against the Lions and we put up a good amount of points against them. You know, we barely won it at the end there when they lost a 2-point conversion, the extra points. But I didn't think that it would be possible that we could lose this game. And, you know, shout out to Jordan Love for doing what he did. But I just feel like it's every single year, Dak Prescott, he just fails in the playoffs. And I feel like on one hand, you know, you can think maybe it's just a nerves thing. Maybe he just fails in the playoffs or whatever. But on the other hand, you don't know if it's just an entire team thing as a whole, because we always lose in general, like Jason said, even when he had Tony Romo and so on and so forth before. And the only thing that stayed the same is the owner.
The biggest problem for me is that that last loss last season and this season come down. It was a team loss. No, there wasn't one person that did it. Even CeeDee Lamb looked off. Like he had a pass that went right through his hands. The guy set franchise records that Michael Irvin holds, man. Like, these are 30-year-old records and shit that he broke this year. The guy is a bona fide number 3 wide receiver in the league. How does he have the drops on this stage? You know, it's his time to prove it. Michael Irvin before the game, obviously he had, like a lot of us, you know, the Cowboys at least getting to the championship round. He had them obviously winning the Super Bowl, like some of us dreamed of as well. And he had freaking CeeDee Lamb as his pick for the Super Bowl MVP. You know, like, not even Dak. He's a really special talent. In fact, I made the joke earlier while wife and I were at lunch about I'm with Michael Irvin, get rid of everybody, like start from the ground up, and then I said, except for CeeDee Lamb. He's the only one that can stay. Maybe Micah Parsons, but damn man, that's his defense right there. I think the defense let us down more than Dak did, even though I 1,000%
Yeah.
agree that Dak let us down. CeeDee
It's like
Lamb
the
let
whole
us down.
team.
When Gallup's
Yeah,
your leading receiver at halftime, you got a problem because that kid ain't played all year. I was pissed by halftime.
So again, what has to change?
I think we get an owner change and coaching changes because I feel like as far as a lot of the players we have, I mean, we wouldn't want to get rid of course, people like CD and Micah Parsons and Stephon Gilmore and all these guys. I don't feel like we should leave those, but we should at least work with our key players what we have and do something different. Like we never want to do anything different. We want to keep the same players for 8 years and ride with them no matter how they do. And it's like I just want something different. I don't care if we have a worse season. I just care if we do better in the playoffs or if we have momentum. That's why this year was such a letdown because I felt like we were finally getting somewhere. I felt like the team was clicking. And
and there was a lot of upward momentum going into the playoffs versus teams like the Dolphins and the
Eagles.
The Eagles, who we have been routinely saying all season that they're frauds. They were trending downward on the way into the playoffs, and they got the same results.
They were nosediving.
So again, it's a critical failure on all levels for the Cowboys. It really is a shame because they were something else this year. No one is denying that the regular season they were crazy good, and it's all for nothing at this point.
So let me ask you a question as a Patriots fan, because you're right. I can't answer the question that you're asking me, but let me ask you something that might help me. Do you think Bill Belichick is the greatest coach in history of football?
I mean, he's by and large, without a doubt, the most accomplished. I think the game has passed him by a bit, and I'm still a firm believer that it wasn't just Tom and it wasn't just Bill, but I would have to say that Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time.
So, but you think that him coming in and replacing McCarthy will have the same results?
I mean, he'll get the record. They might go a little further in the playoffs, but when I really don't think it was the coaching in this case. I still don't think it's the coaching. I think, look, Brian has been. I don't know where Brian is. He's always late to this. It's like we're in week 20. We're on the 20th episode, and he still doesn't know this has notifications. But he's been touting
Brian
all season.
Probably won't show up tonight.
Yeah,
notice he's been very quiet in the Discord.
He's been touting all season that the offense is the way it is right now because Mike McCarthy is making the calls. So I think it would be a Jerry Jones stupidity level move to fire McCarthy and bring in Belichick.
Well, he's really good with offense, but when we're doing shit at the end of the game, it's like he just doesn't know what to do. We just run out the time and just don't care. Like Brian was kind of saying the same thing. Like he's really good playing offense, but maybe he needs more of that.
There is one factor that might, we can look at the objectives and the metrics all we want, but there is one thing to consider. The Patriots were historically bad this season, but you had the veterans and the people who have been the players who have been here for multiple seasons now that still buy into the Patriot way, and they would die for Bill Belichick. He leads men like no one else. And even though they weren't good, even though things they couldn't figure it out, even though he fought with the quarterbacks and he fought with the coaching and the front office and X, Y, and Z, there are still players that would come to bat for Bill Belichick. There are still a lot of players across the NFL that have the utmost respect and would love to play for Bill Belichick. So it could be as simple as a morale boost. the play calling might be different and the coaching capacity might be different up or down. But if you have a coach with the legendary status of Bill Belichick, that could be what it takes to get any team that he goes to really go up to the next level, because now they have something to play for.
So if that's the case, then to me that's your next move. I think regardless of what personnel wise what let us down, I think the shit starts at the top and it rolls down from there. But in football, that's not the case. The people at the top are the ones that get the blame, and so they're the first ones out. I think Jerry Jones is, what is he, 92? Like, I mean, his goal right now is to win a Super Bowl before another one before he dies. He has to prove to everybody that his team can win a Super Bowl and not just Jimmy Jones' team. Because, Barry Switzer, that Super Bowl belongs to Jimmy Johnson just as much as it belongs to Jerry Jones. I mean, it was the team that Jimmy built that won that with Barry Switzer at the helm. But I just I don't know. I think he's getting more desperate. He's making moves that he didn't make in the past. And I think maybe getting the right person to lead the ship results in enough. I don't think there's anything else you can do. Like, I just don't. Obviously I want to see some statement moves in the offseason of some kind, and not just a coaching change. I think that I want to see something major. I want to see a big free agent signing, some people contracts being restructured. I want to see some people that we didn't expect to get cut. Like, I want to see sweeping changes, not just Belichick getting hired. And I'm not even sure I'm still 50-50 on McCarthy. I really don't know. But I do.
It seems like you're more set on Dak than you are McCarthy.
Probably just slightly, but again, I mean, I am, but I'm not. I do feel like there is something that he's a coin flip on which Dak is going to show up, especially once you get in the face of a really good team or a really play in a playoff environment. So but he has had good games against good teams and good and in playoff situations. He hasn't lost. He's not 0. He's not 0-7. He's not 0 and whatever. He has done it.
I feel like
he just
when the team is out there with Dak, I feel like when I'm looking at their body language and their faces and how they look, it looks like they're not as motivated. Like, it just looks like the people on the team do not believe in their leader, and I think that's a big problem. Even if Dak just for some reason is just terrible in the playoffs, but actually a really good quarterback, it doesn't matter, because it just seems like all of a sudden, as soon as playoffs start, everyone's disconnected, even the defense, the whole team. We go out there immediately after they get a touchdown because of 3 penalties by us, and I feel like that was a big thing that lost us that game. So I think you get a guy that's...
Let me ask you this. What if that's an example of that's not attributed to Dak, that's attributed maybe the players don't believe in Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, it can be anything. My thing is that I just feel like no matter what it is, we can just figure it out by making a change. And we need the rest of the team motivated. We need the fans motivated, because, I mean, it's going to take a lot of motivation after what just happened. I was really sorry. So we need to make a coaching change, do whatever we got to do, make a quarterback change, maybe get in a few players, trade a couple players, whatever. But we need some changes. We have a quarterback that was a high draft pick, and he's been learning behind Dak. start him at the beginning of the season. If we got a different coach like Bill Belichick, like he was talking about, that would start in some momentum there, and he'd be starting off with a new quarterback. And I feel like as the season goes on, yeah, the regular season might not be the best, but then we'll have some motivation. We'll see some spark in the game, and in the next couple of years, maybe something will actually happen. But
I would love, like, this is how I would love to see it go down. Belichick gets hired, starts making some sweeping changes, and addresses the locker room and says,
he's finna go out, like
you're
he's got to go out
all,
with a bang,
you're all
on notice.
On notice right now. Like, none of you are starting yet.
This is final ditch to prove himself, So
Yeah.
I feel like Belichick is gonna be like, all right, let's get shit going.
Hey, look, this is 30 minutes in.
Yeah.
There were 5 other games this weekend, and I don't want Dabs to go to sleep. So
I think we should put a pin in it. We'll talk Cowboys again at the end of the season, after the Super Bowl. At the end of the day, all 4 of us are here without a dog in the fight anymore.
Yeah.
We can truly go into the rest of this episode and the rest of the playoffs and the rest of the Super Bowl run and dive into these games with completely, unbiased views and just and just take a look at these games.
Cowboys talk for the year, unless something crazy happens
until the year
there's
review.
no Cowboys playing.
I highly doubt it will be the last.
I highly doubt it too.
No, it
but
won't,
for me,
'cause
I said
else-
what I had to say, so I'm good. There might be a few things every now and then if we do something crazy, but like, there's no Cowboys playing, so
All right, clip that.
yeah,
clip it. Look, well, you do have your second team. Your number 2 is still in the game in the hunt because Houston
And for the record, I am rooting for Tampa.
Do we? Yeah, that's true too. But do we count the Cleveland game as an upset?
I think
Technically,
so.
No, it
no,
was
they
kind
were
of
a
a-
lower seed.
Yeah, that was kind of a.
Who
I
was
feel like-
favored to win?
It was pretty even, but I think
It was-
I'm,
yeah,
I'm
it was
pretty
even.
sure.
At least from
I
the
think pretty sure
Discord,
at the
everyone
time of our
was thinking
episode-
Browns.
Well,
I
at
think
the
it was
time of our
Browns
episode,
by-
I think it was Browns by 2 points, which
Yeah.
that's not a very big margin.
That's not huge. Okay, so but I think the public thought Cleveland was winning that game.
Well, they
I
thought,
mean, our pick'ems did.
well because of Cleveland's defense and the rookie factor of the the youth of the Texans, and they kind of had a little bit of a. Granted, they had a very defining final game of the season, but they had some snafus at the end of the year with injuries and such. So they were looking at the upward trajectory of Cleveland versus the kind of about the same, momentum of Houston. But dude, CJ Stroud is him.
Yeah, I credit
Yeah.
Janu because like
That's off, sir.
for finding the diamonds in the rough in that team because they all blossomed and
It all
did
started
hit
with
some
that
injury
big
bug
parlay
and
at the start of the season.
stumbled, but man, yeah, they were good, bro. They were really good again.
They're
That
still in it.
game, and that game was good until it was clear that
Flacco kept throwing.
Flacco had fully turned back into a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Like
I think the biggest thing about Stroud is that he's not on a team like the 49ers where he's got all these crazy weapons around him. Like he's got one new rookie wide receiver that's been popping off, but he's injured, and they have Nico Collins. That's it. Everyone else hasn't done shit this year, but he's still going off and doing this.
Devin
which is some
Singletary
random
is great.
thing. He's great, but did he even break 1,000 yards this year? Mm-mm.
No, he was injured part of the year though.
That is true. But my point is that they haven't had any players that have been consistent. Like they're not any superstars or anything.
they don't have.
like
He
that.
doesn't have a
They
stud.
have-
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have studs, but they
Well, he
just
does.
have
He's just
solid
injured right
people
now.
that can get it done.
Yeah.
They're not going to win this week, so
No.
like
just gonna let
you
you
just
know
said though, like you just said, they don't have the players, and unless they can do offensively what they've done, they got to be able to keep up with Baltimore because they're not going.
Well, and look, let's be honest about who Houston is. Nobody expected them to be in the playoffs. They what were they last year? 2-15.
They were the number. They got the number 2 pick, so they were the.
Yeah, I mean, nobody expected them to even make to get to the playoffs. So to go to the playoffs and beat a team that arguably had the number one defense in the league, and had a super veteran at quarterback, that was like on his second lease of life, like just like he was a stud for those 4 or 5 games. And so yeah, I think the general public thought that Houston didn't really have much of a chance to be in that game, even though they were at home. That's why they were the underdog in their own stadium.
Yeah, I think most people thought that that game was going to be a really close game more than anything, like maybe 3 points, 7 points. But I don't think anyone expected a blowout like that after all the momentum that Flacco had.
That first
and their
quarter
amazing
was so
defense.
fun to watch.
Yeah,
I
was.
wanted
why,
that to keep going.
That's why
Oh,
I was
I wanted
talking
it.
about him so much when we started talking about players like this in fantasy, because I was watching these games and I was seeing those connections and just going, what the hell? And CJ Stroud does that like every single game. He just chunks it and he's so on point.
Well,
And
Flacco looked good in the first half, and the Browns looked
Yeah,
good
he
in
was
the first
he was
quarter.
throwing dimes to the Houston defense.
It was like his Energizer battery just went freaking right out, bro.
I'm telling you, it's a conspiracy. My theory that I posted in Discord is that I think that's what happened. So, he was paid by Baltimore to come in, give Cleveland hope, lead them
It's
to
kind
the
of crazy
playoffs.
that after week
Lead-
one, and granted, and to be fair, I had the Cowboys in the NFC Championship, but it's my bracket that's the closest right now.
All our brackets are pretty busted, though. You're the only one that's got a shot at the end, but right
Very
now
true.
all our brackets look pretty damn busted. You and Janu got 3 right, so you're like 50%. And but Dabs, you and I are cooked, brother. I think you had both the Cowboys and the Browns making it to the Super Bowl.
I also want to, for the record, despite my hot take from the last episode, which I shared in the Discord, even I didn't have it in me to pick Green Bay over Dallas. So,
no, that was one of the
despite my
unanimous
critique
picks.
of Dallas, it seemed like a pretty. I didn't have them going all the way, but I also didn't actually have them getting bounced in the first round. So,
yeah, that was a pretty unanimous pick, not only on pretty much all the pregame shows that I saw, but also in our community Discord. The 4 of us, like Dallas beating Green Bay, much like Buffalo beating Pittsburgh, was unanimous. Nobody thought otherwise. One game went exactly as scripted. The other one was the complete opposite.
But yeah, I would say for the upcoming playoffs, I think this is huge for Houston against the Ravens, because Ravens are coming off of a bye, and the Ravens just came off of an amazing game. They have the momentum they need. CJ Stroud is making it work. He's going to be confident coming into it. He's going to have a hard defense to go against, and that offense is going to cook up a lot more than the Browns will. I think it'll be a more closer game than people think it is, because obviously, yeah, I mean, just the way that he plays against good teams is completely different. He's not afraid to throw. He's not afraid to throw deep. So
I tell you what, though,
be interesting.
Baltimore's a hostile place to play. That could hit the rookie, the youngness, the inexperience. That is a place where it can show up big time. Like I tend to side with you. Like I really do think that Houston's gonna put up a fight, but at the same time, I won't be surprised if they don't. I won't be surprised if Baltimore dominates them.
Because
that's an intimidating place to go play.
Speaking of hostile places to play, Kansas City did business against the Dolphins, who they've been on fraud watch all season. I mean, just the weather alone made it so.
To his record in the snow,
it's bad.
He hasn't won like a single game, I don't think, and weather like that.
And I've been saying that I've been saying that all season that no matter how good the Dolphins are, they're not going unless they get the number one overall seed and play at home through the through the playoffs. There's no shot that they go into a cold weather playoff game and win. Granted, this was the craziest cold weather game they could have gone to. It's in Arrowhead with negative 20-degree wind. Like, I mean, there was no shot they were winning that. Speaking of more hostile places, are we going to have the same discussion next week when Kansas City goes to Buffalo and beats Buffalo that we just had about the Cowboys? Because they're in essentially the exact same boat as the Cowboys, in my opinion.
Man. Well, first, let me address the Kansas City Miami game because I picked Miami to win that, and I eventually Mahomes has to be dethroned. And like I said last week on the show, I really thought that at some point Miami's also got to win a game in the cold. And I was like, this is the perfect setup for Mahomes' downfall because he doesn't have a team. He's got every excuse in the world for this to be the year that he loses at home in the playoffs and is bounced in the first round because, like, guys, Kelsey sucked in that game. You know, like Miami had chance, could have won that game, but again, I 100% agree. The cold weather curse that they have ate them up, and they just didn't stand a chance. And even a limping Kansas City was able to manhandle them. It was crazy. It was crazy. And I'll eat. You know, I even said last week in the podcast, I was like, I really want to change my bracket because I really don't like picking Miami. And I called that. I called my own miss. I should have redone my bracket. But Kansas City going to the Buffalo, man.
Yep.
The
Bills are going to do Bills things. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I think the Bills, honestly, in this one are going to take it. I feel like it's going to be another one of those games where it's close, just because Kansas has been playing like shit all year, and I think they still are a lot shittier than they were in the past, but they are a playoff ready team. Mahomes obviously gets glazed enough by everybody, every commentator, but he is really good, and he's really good in the playoffs. But I just don't think that it's going to be enough to take that away from the Bills because they've been on fire lately, and it's a lot easier to bet on a run. I just feel like the way they've been playing is the time Mahomes finally steps down. I mean, I feel like it's just going to happen.
I think Mahomes loses to Baltimore. I think
You
the
think they
Bills
win and take it?
if I'm Baltimore, I hope that's how it goes.
I think the Bills do Bills things because Josh Allen is. Everyone has him in the elite discussion, and he is not elite. He's great. Don't get me wrong. He's a great quarterback, but he is not elite, and he loves to turn the ball over. That's one of his favorite things to do. He does it all the time. And I think the Chiefs are going to capitalize on that. Mahomes is still connecting with Rashee Rice. The running game is getting better. And as Bolt just said, the Chiefs D is for real. And especially this year, the Bills are human.
But Jarius Sneed locked down Tyreek, bro.
Yep.
Oh, I saw the clips. I was like, dude, Legarius.
Kansas City has two of the most underrated corners in the league.
Dude.
And I really think they pick apart especially if they don't have Gabe Davis, which is a strong possibility. He sat, they beat they beat Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh was never meant to win anyway. So
that game was, like I said, perfectly on script.
I think the Chiefs get it done against the Bills up at Highmark, and then they lose to the Ravens.
I tend to agree with that. I don't know for sure if by the end of the week when I fill out my pick'ems, if that's the way I still will feel. I think for me, part of it is like, and you're not a Bills fan, obviously.
Fuck the Bills.
Yeah, exactly.
I love watching the Bills lose. That's like my favorite thing to do.
I've been talking about this easily for a couple weeks now. Like, I can't root for the Bills. They're like all the worst part of Dallas, like before the 90s, you know?
Buffalo
Like,
is the worst place on earth, I'm telling you.
I just and all Buffalo breeds is Dallas haters, because we beat them two out of their 4 Super Bowls in the 90s. So like, I just can't. It's the same reason I can't get on board with Houston. I can't, because their fan base just hates our fan base for reasons that they don't even know, and I just can't do it. And so, that being said, that's what I say all that to say. I think Buffalo is capable of winning this game. They're at home. They are on the uptick. Kansas City. The one thing, though, Kansas City is not afraid to play in the cold. So they don't have that huge advantage they have against a lot of other teams with Kansas City. I don't know. This game is such a coin. It's such a coin flip for me. I don't know where I'm going to land. I really don't. I don't know.
I think it's for certain, and I'm changing my picks for sure, because, I mean, everything I predicted already went wrong, so I'm just going to change it.
Yeah, just blow it all up. Hey, you were 50%. There were here.
Let's pull up the pick'ems.
In case you didn't see it in the Discord, and obviously for those watching at home, here were our pick'ems, our playoff pick'ems. So you can see the people leading the pack are Q-Swin, Psycho Nana, and Daddy Dabs with only 4 of the 6 correct. A couple people had 3, most people had 2, and then there was Digital Navy bringing.
Brian is going through it this week.
Only 1 week.
Jeez.
Or 1 win, yeah. Only
can
one.
Someone
right.
Can someone call him? Get him on.
Yeah.
I think we need to.
Can we get? Can we get a line into the into the podcast? Make sure he's all right.
Lobster, check on your brother.
Yeah,
Lobster,
wellness check.
I'll check in.
Wellness check, that's for sure.
But he's not alone. I mean, I don't want to get back into the Dallas thing, but I promise you he's not alone. There's a lot. I've been snippy. I've been grumpy.
I would love to be a TV salesman in Dallas right now, that's for sure.
Did you guys hear the rumors around Eagles head coach possibly losing his job?
Oh, there were Eagles fans in
Tampa throwing
popcorn with signs that said "Fire Sirianni."
Mm-hmm.
Like in Philadelphia, they're not like a model fandom. So they're
the worst NFL fans.
Can we all agree on that, right?
The Eagles fans are the worst.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Don't forget Buffalo. Don't forget Buffalo.
I don't know, man. Did Buffalo ever throw snowballs at Santa Claus that had batteries in them?
They threw snowballs at players on the field.
Yeah. I mean, Santa Claus might be worse, depending on
But yeah, let's talk about Philadelphia, because that's another hot topic of coaching. I do want to point out that Baker Mayfield did exactly what everyone thought he was going to do, and he balled the fuck out. That all-pro defense. That all-pro defense against Philadelphia, they got it done, and it was incredibly clean football. Nobody was throwing interceptions. Weren't many turnovers. It was a great game. And Tampa Bay they're sneaky good. I'm telling you. I'm not
Baker Haymaker.
Hey, as a Browns fan, I'm proud to see Baker Mayfield succeed.
I love the Baker Mayfield story. I can't wait for him to be a Patriot next season. That's my hot take. But
that's going to be the extra point?
That dude, he's gonna have a man crush if he goes to the Patriots, dude. It's gonna be Baker Mayfield every week.
He'll be doing home insurance in Gillette.
Yeah, But
If
but
Baker Mayfield goes to New England, is Tampa Bay going to remain your second favorite team? I mean, or do you just write them off? Hey, thanks for the good time. I'm going back to my ex.
That's a good question. That's a good question. Like, I'm still bought in with Tampa Bay because of the standard of play that Tom put them back on the map. But having Baker go there was great because I've been a huge Baker fan since he started in the league, and I'm a huge huge proponent for Baker.
Yeah, since Oklahoma.
I've been consistent with that all season. That Baker got screwed by the Browns. He's been slept on. He's been slept on for seasons now, and he's getting it done. He's doing is he going to come down to earth next week against Detroit? Probably. I don't know if
Most
it'll all be
likely.
Baker's fault. I think it'll be that crazy offense that Detroit has. But yeah, I would love to see him as a Patriot, and I'll still cheer for the Bucs every now and then.
Yeah, I think the offense is going to be the big difference maker, but Tampa Bay does have a pretty decent defense though. So, but I don't know. I think Detroit's clicking. There was a lot of us that thought that the Rams were going to spoil their or continue their playoff streak of like I think this is the first playoff game they've won in 31 years.
Mm-hmm. And now the longest streak without a playoff win belongs to Miami.
Yeah, Miami.
And it's in pro sports. It's not just in football. They're the longest professional, longest streak in professional sports without a playoff win.
Oh,
No. The Heat are awesome. The Heat are in the finals like every other year.
No. The Dolphins.
Miami.
Yeah, the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, I thought you meant the city of Miami sports. My bad.
No, the Miami Dolphins.
I was like, dude, the Heat are really
no,
good.
the other way.
You're right, but
Smoke another.
Yeah.
he's falling asleep over there. But honestly, I think that's the most important game to talk about, though, is the Stafford Detroit reunion.
That's great.
That was
a crazy game.
Yeah, that had I thought the greatest story of the playoffs so far, because you had Stafford and Goff, obviously the trade that happened in was it 2001? 2000, right?
No, that would be 24 years ago.
I mean 2020. God bless it. I do that all the time.
You need to go smoke another one.
Yeah. No,
they would have been about 14.
Yeah, I do that all the time. Yeah, 2020. I can't remember when the trade happened. Either way, we all know the story. They switched spots, not necessarily straight up. Goff was shipped off with a bunch of other pieces, and Stafford straight up traded for, and Stafford went and won a Super Bowl. So fast forward to this weekend, Rams are on the road. Stafford's first game back in Detroit since the trade. And I think a lot of us had LA as the team to beat in that game.
They were trending upward.
God, they were smoking. They were smoking all the way into the playoffs, bro. Once Stafford came back healthy, they looked good.
And they almost won too.
That was the closest game. I mean, it was really.
It was, yeah.
It was super close, and I thought they were actually going to finally do it. Like, I wanted them to. I like the team that they have. I like the players. But the Lions are
crazy.
Yeah, Puka Nacua is crazy. Kyron Williams is getting up there on that RB chart, and Matthew Stafford's being pretty accurate. So,
but
the Lions are just
getting ready.
The Lions are just good too. So, I knew it was gonna be close.
I love to see the Lions win that game. I really do. I said it. I think in the Discord. I was like, if the Cowboys can't win, I'd love to see Cleveland or Detroit do it. and obviously we can't. Cleveland's sitting on the couch now too, so man, I'd love to see it. You know, like, is there anything better than all our teams are out? You know, even Ray, your second team doesn't count for this conversation. All of our first teams are out. What's better than seeing a team like Detroit, a super depressed, like they were the first 0-16 team in history. Like, what's better than seeing a team that's never won the Super Bowl, hadn't won a playoff game in 31 years, rise up and win a Super Bowl? Is there a better story?
I mean,
First one in my
personally,
life, they won.
I mean it's a cool story, but personally, I want to see continued success with quarterbacks. I want to see Lamar get a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's in the conversation. He's the MVP. He's going to be the MVP. But he's in the conversation of one of those, you know, incredible to elite quarterbacks that just hasn't gone over the hump yet. So personally, I want to continue fueling the new Brady Manning rivalries, and you know, when we have Joe Burrow and you know, CJ Stroud's going to be in that conversation. We have Patrick Mahomes. We have all these great quarterbacks.
Will Levis.
It's
yeah.
yeah, the Josh Dobbs.
Mac Jones.
The success is really measured by a Super Bowl, and more importantly, multiple Super Bowls. So, you know, I want to see that if it wasn't Burrow this year, I want it to be Lamar.
I want Lamar or CJ. I would love for Lamar or CJ to win a
I
Super Bowl.
would
That
love
would
to
be
see the
so
rookie.
awesome.
Houston winning the Super Bowl would be crazy.
I think that would be the
I'm
best
with Wakko.
story.
I want Detroit to go.
I really like Detroit too. I wouldn't mind Detroit winning one. Don't get me wrong. That would be
Can
awesome.
you imagine Detroit, Michigan? Michigan wins the national championship, and Detroit wins the
Dude.
Super Bowl.
That would be
It
crazy.
would burn down.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
City would burn.
What a crazy, like, I don't know, man. I'm rooting for him. I really am. I'm rooting for him pretty hard. Not gonna
Detroit's
lie.
close to us too. I have a lot of connections with Detroit. So, you know, hopefully they
My
win.
favorite single player of all time, Barry Sanders. It's not even a Cowboy.
And Cleveland moved to Baltimore, so I don't really give a shit about it.
Oh yeah. I got you. No, I mean, I get what you're saying though, and those are actually pretty cool stories too. Lamar, I like the guy. I think he deserves a certain level of success, and I wouldn't be mad if Baltimore ended up winning.
No, I wouldn't be mad either.
I would definitely not be mad with that story. I don't want to see Houston win.
To be fair, it's a great slate. It's a great slate of teams right now. It really is. Like there are some excellent teams going into
A lot of good
the next
stories.
round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Bucks
know,
a
I
good
would have liked
story.
to see-
Texans, all them Lions.
I mean,
there's a
we
lot
had
of
the
good
Packers up and coming. That's
Can
another
I-
thing.
Packers too.
Speaking of the Packers,
Jordan
can I
Love looks like the third reincarnation of
I know a lot of
Brett
Cowboy
Favre.
fans.
I'm
will
not
hate on,
ready
but I don't.
the-
I appreciate it. I can appreciate Green Bay. I mean, they popped off. So Jordan Love's doing great. You know,
I'm not ready to eat crow on Jordan Love because he needs to have more success before I'm gonna anoint him the next Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. But kid looked good the other night, man.
That's a high standard, though. You know.
No, it is. But that's
Like,
what I feel. That's one of the reasons that I can't give him the love that everybody is giving him because they're
for Jordan Love.
everybody's. You know, the stats are coming out. He's got the same stats as Aaron Rodgers in his first year. And, you know, it's like, come on. To me, shit like that.
It's disingenuous to do that.
Way too early
Yeah.
propaganda, you know? And I don't buy into that. But the kid looked good against us in the playoffs. And so I'll nibble on the crow. But I'm not eating that crow all the way yet. I still think Jordan Love's got a long way to go to prove that he's going to be an elite quarterback worthy of replacing Aaron Rodgers.
He's doing the right things.
Yeah. So far, so good.
So far, so good.
I'll give them that much. And I hope they get their ass spanked by San Francisco.
It'd be
And
crazy.
I don't
if
want. Hey, I don't want San Francisco to win the Super Bowl. By the
Hey,
way,
repeat Super Bowl was it? Super Bowl 1 and 2, Packers Chiefs.
Wouldn't it be crazy if the Bucs took it and like the Texans or some shit took it? That would be crazy, bro. That would not be
That'd be
on
wild.
anyone's radar at all. Like
No.
everyone knows 49ers
Bucs are
good,
sleepers.
Ravens
They're
good.
sleeping, man. They're the sleepers.
I feel like when teams, I
They're
mean,
that
maybe
dark
it's just
horse.
me, but I feel like when teams have that
If they
dark
beat
horse
Detroit, they're
energy,
winning. Straight
when
up. If
people
they beat
come in
Detroit
with
next week, they're
nothing to
winning it.
lose, then it's just like, oh my god. When teams have that momentum of just being the underdogs and everyone's against them, I feel like it just gives them that anger. They're just like, oh, I want to win it. And they just go in different. Then the other team is just like, yeah, we're good. We think we're going to win. Like, we're not going to try, whatever. Upset.
That's how the Rangers
Boom.
won the World Series.
Bucks win. Take it
They
all
were on the
way.
road the whole way, beating juggernauts. You know, like they never given a chance nationally or by anybody else. And hey, it's sports; it can happen. You know.
I mean,
love it.
yeah, everything pretty much already has been lopsided. Like half the games were just like, this was not supposed to happen. Then two were really close, and then one was like, all right, the Bills won. We knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, that was the only one that was like, that was just yeah, okay, this doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I just turned that game off. I was like, boring. I'm watching this shit.
Dabs, you been quiet tonight, bro. Tell us about your playoff picture, bro.
That's in shambles, dude. I don't know.
It's completely turned upside down. You had Browns, Cowboys, Super Bowl.
Shit. I think the Chiefs will end up going. I think they're gonna weasel their way in.
Nope.
I don't know.
Nope.
I have no. I'm just. It's just a gut feeling. Say what you want about it. I don't care. I just feel like the Chiefs are gonna make it. I'd like to.
I'm telling you, I'm like 50-50 between you guys, because I know that the Chiefs just find ways to win. I don't think they're the favorite in this game. I don't think they should be, but I think they'll end up being, and they got just as much of a chance of pulling it off as
Well, we're gonna
Buffalo
see
has of
who-
winning.
We're gonna see whose clip gets shared earlier in the Discord next week.
Yeah.
Because one of us had their clip shared in the Discord earlier this week, so we'll see how it goes. But
Wait, what? What was shared?
I shared my hot take about Dallas sleeping on Green Bay, and look what happened. So we'll see. But but yeah, I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty confident. Aside from the NFC side of things, I'm pretty confident in the remainder of my bracket at least.
Yeah, my bracket's.
It seems pretty cut. I mean,
No.
that's the problem, is that it seems cut and dry on the AFC side, which is that there's going to be a runs thrown in the mix. But at the same time, I really think that regardless of how good these teams are as they continue through the playoffs, Baltimore is a different entity. San Fran, barring major system failure like the other juggernaut teams we've had, I still think those two teams are the teams to beat. And
I mean, San Francisco, they just had a week to sit around, watch tape, and get healthy.
right.
They're going to be so freaking dangerous. Like I know what I just saw Green Bay do, and I cannot, for the life of me, seeing lightning strike twice. It just don't. I think San Francisco's going to mop the floor with them.
Probably.
I agree.
Unfortunately.
I think I'm switching up my picks. I'm just going to ride CJ Stroud out all the way to the end. I don't care, bro. I already got let down once. I'm going in.
Might as well.
Nah.
I'm
Hey guys, so
doing it, bro.
we haven't talked about this at all because I don't think we ever got back together behind midweek and put in. We didn't do a parlay this week.
We
right?
did not do a parlay this week. Although your leg would have hit. I don't think we could do
Who was
parlays
that?
for the.
TD Lamb.
I don't think we could do parlays for the rest of the season because your go-to safety blanket leg isn't available anymore.
Well, I can.
What are we gonna do?
Something else. I'm sure I can find something. I got a good one actually, right off the top of my
TMC
head.
anytime TD.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't gonna say that actually, but that's not a bad one.
Let's hear it.
I can never pronounce his name. Amon Ra
Amon-Ra
St.
St. Brown.
Brown.
Sun God.
Yes, sir. Give me over on the yards.
Ooh. It's Tampa? That's rough. But I'll take it. All right. Who's next?
And if we need time to talk about it, that's fine. I didn't mean to put everybody on the spot.
I got one.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Change mine from yards to receptions.
Okay.
Give me receptions. I've been favoring receptions over yards lately, and in a lot of, and that's what I meant to kind of lead into talking about. Like, did you guys have any success this week or whatever? Like, let them think about the bets y'all want to make if you want.
I got one.
You got one? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over/under on the Houston-Baltimore game at 43.5.
Are you taking the
Over.
Okay.
Houston, Baltimore, over at what?
43.5.
Okay.
I'm gonna take.
Yeah, I like that.
See if Stroud shows up, keep it.
I mean, if this is on here, but I wanted to take Brevin Jordan over on receiving yards.
Yeah,
It'll probably
I
be
don't
like 30 or something. If not, go ahead and take the CJ over on passing yards.
I like that one better.
Oh, that's way good.
Okay. I am going to looking at these at the matchups we have.
We're running out.
I'm going to take a Rashi Rice anytime touchdown.
That's good.
Ooh, I like that.
So that's what I'm going with. You know, he's been Patrick's go-to for a while now. So
He was a fantasy gem for me right at the end of the season.
Yeah, he was a good pickup. You know, he's a constant, you know, chunk player, or he's a constant touchdown threat. So I think, you know, going into this game against Buffalo, he's going to score. He'll likely score the first touchdown for Kansas City. So
yeah, definitely, I like that.
I'm not touching Travis Kelce.
Yeah,
or nowhere near him.
Although I'm surprised with how big of a Swiftie you are.
I'm
Wait,
not.
you are too?
I'm a huge Swiftie.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, looking at the lines for Niners Green Bay, Christian McCaffrey is negative 340 for anytime touchdown. So yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking at. So for those of you who have been playing along at home, please make sure to not bet any money you can't afford to lose. Don't chase your losses. And at the end of the day, do not take anything we say as advice. We
And if you
As
feel
a
like you have a problem,
guarantee.
call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You
bet
heard it here first, folks.
we
You
bet
can
and we
put
mostly lose,
your
but we
money
have fun
on it.
doing it. So our primetime parlay, our primetime playoff parlay, 4 legs, $10. Gets placed during the week. We have wagered, I think, $160, and we're still over $400. So we are very much in the green.
Well, your cars, anyway.
You're so right. But so this week, going into the divisional round, we have Amon-Ra St. Brown over on receptions. We don't have a line yet. It will be posted. We have the over 43.5 on Houston and Baltimore. We have CJ Stroud over on passing yards. Again, the line's not posted yet. And I have a Rashee Rice anytime touchdown. So stay tuned. Jump into the Discord. You will see our bet slip. And happy betting.
I will have to say I like Prize Picks more than Underdog.
Really, I didn't expect you to say that.
They're about the same.
I kind of like the. I have a lot about Underdog that I like better than Prize Picks, but overall, I feel like I don't know. It's been.
I think there's benefits
It's
to
been a
both,
better experience
but
for me so far in what I think has been a tougher time to bet, because I think towards the end of the season the bets get harder to hit. As there's more data available, they're better at dialing in the yards and.
the main thing that's better is that they give you free like $30 picks pretty much weekly that you just get to use, which is insane. And on top of that, they just have a lot more options as far as stats goes. The only difference is they don't have a lot more options as far as players go. Sometimes they're not as updated as fast.
Well,
and
the payouts aren't as high.
The thing is that Underdog also has lowered their payouts, and that's why I stopped using them. Was one of the main reasons I stopped using them as much, because they used to give you, for any 5-man parlay you would get $100, and a 10-man parlay was $200. So before, when I used it, I was like, oh, this is really freaking good, so I just did a bunch of $10 ones. But now when you go and you do that, it's like $80 for $10, and you're just like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Why am I? This payout's dumb. And they're changing the payouts per player. They're allowing you to use more options, but that's making the payouts lower. And Prize Picks has it organized, at least where you can see like little devil icons. They're going to give you a higher payout. But it's like both of them kind of lowered, and you're just like, what the hell? So now I'm just not winning as much money, anyways. But at least I get the options of picking stats that are a lot lower or a lot higher on people that
Underdog had a massive advertising campaign this year. Like, it was like every game you watched, you saw Underdog.
Their YouTube's popping off too.
And I had no idea until the very end of the season who Prize Picks even was. So like they spent some money to get some people in there and get their claws into them, and those fat payouts were probably tempting. Now, fast forward to the end of the season, I'm like done with Underdog. I throw just a little bit of money into Prize Picks because of my experience with Underdog, and I'm actually finding like slow, even success.
Yeah, I'm done with Underdog this season. A big fan of the daily fantasy. I do like it. I actually might mess around with some of the fantasy pools. But in terms of betting, I'm all done with Underdog. I'm gonna ride out my luck on DraftKings and hope for the best. See if I can get my plane ticket paid off for the trip in March, and that's all I'm really hoping for this one. No, sir.
God bless
you. So,
where are you going? Florida?
No, taking a Euro trip, heading over to
Amsterdam.
Yep. Copenhagen, Amsterdam, and I'll probably take a day down in Italy to see my cousin.
Penne Arrabbiata.
Yes, sir. So, at the end of the day, it's always fun to just play around, and we're not gambling addicts because gambling addicts would imply that we're losing, and we're not losing. We're positive on the season, right, guys?
We're just having fun.
Yeah, we don't have a problem. Like people, oh, you have a gambling problem? No, I have no problem gambling. Trust
If
me.
you do,
Yeah, I have no
1-800 gambler.
Gambler.
So true. But do we want to look at the brackets again going into the next week?
Our brackets
Yeah.
or like the real bracket?
A real
Both.
bracket, please, God.
Oh.
Yeah, real Brian. Just scratch those. Just delete.
Yeah, we already talked about our pick'ems. It's no big deal. Let me get to the NFL website here
Yeah, word.
because our brackets are broke. Schedule. Do they have? I don't see they don't have it like in a bracket format though. What's a website that would have it in a bracket format?
Hold on. I'll send you one in Discord and share it there. I got one.
My problem is that I can't afford to gamble. Buzz Lightyear. Hey, that's rule number 1 of gambling is don't spend money you can't afford to lose.
I sent it in the Discord chat.
There it is.
Okay, let's see, Paul. Where is it? I know there's a. Well, that's not it. Never mind. Damn it.
Brief technical difficulty intermission.
You just need the.
Oh,
You need
I
the
was
thing that
like-
says, "Please stand by."
please stand by. Sorry, we'll delete this from the YouTube. No, I won't.
Hey, remind me to add this out.
All right, can you see it now? There we go.
Man, you have a lot of notifications on Discord. You should clear those.
What? It's not showing you the Discord.
It's showing us the background. Yes, it is.
Oh,
I'm just busting your balls, but regardless.
yeah. I'm in a lot of Discords.
All right.
There you
what do
go.
we
There's
got
your playoff picture at the moment. Hi, podcast stream. Damn it. Stop it. I was trying to bring it up in a different way to where I could, but it's goofy. I would have had to have this beforehand.
All right, so I'm going to lock in my picks. I have Baltimore versus Kansas City for the AFC. And I really, really want to bet Tampa, but I can't. And I'm going to eat. If they make it, they're going to the Super Bowl. However, I have Detroit, San Fran for NFC.
What about Chiefs, Bills?
No, I have Baltimore versus Chiefs.
Chiefs. All right.
Yeah.
I think I'm going Texans, Bills, Bucks, San Fran.
Oh, buddy.
I might do Lions, but for now I'm going Bucks.
I'm gonna go Baltimore, Kansas City, and
the-
Detroit, San Francisco.
Detroit, San Francisco's the easy one for me. Although I do think the Bucks are going to have.
That's the hardest one for me is the Tampa Bay Detroit one.
I believe in
The spread is 6 points.
I believe in Tampa Bay enough to know that they're probably the Lions are gonna win that one easy, but they're still gonna end up winning.
Do you
And-
believe in your boy or not, Ray? Do you believe in him?
I do, but at the same time, a 6 point spread. I think they cover I think they cover the points, but I don't think they're. I don't know. I really, again, if that line changes later in the week, then maybe. But as of right now, I think the Linsanity run ends here. But
Yeah, San Francisco over Green Bay, that's an easy one. There you go. The hard
it's
one for
9.5.
me,
That point spread is 9.5 points, so that's San Fran all day.
the hard one for me is the Kansas City Bills. I really think the Bills are capable of beating Kansas City.
The Chiefs are
And-
+3 on the road, which that is within my golden margin. I'm taking that all day.
Yeah,
Chiefs.
and they should be because they have proven that they are postseason powerhouse. And
for the record, Texans Ravens is 9 points. So I don't know.
I'll take Kansas City. I'm gonna take Kansas City. I wasn't gonna take Kansas City. I had on my original bracket. I was going for the '90s retro Super Bowl, Bills Cowboys. That's not a reality, and reality has hit me in the freaking teeth this week. So yeah, the reality is you can't stop Mahomes in the playoffs. Kansas City wins over the Bills. Now, Houston, Baltimore. Like I said, this Baltimore's hostile environment. This is where the rookie quarterback and his 1 and 2 year team they can't they buckle under pressure. Baltimore wins that game. So I got Baltimore, Kansas City, Baltimore in the next round, and Detroit and San Francisco in the next round.
All right. Same as me, brother.
Yeah,
mean,
looks good.
Did you write that all down?
No.
No.
All right. Well, I just committed to it, so I'll put it on my sheet.
I mean, it goes on the sheet anyway later in the week. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, should be good though. I this next round, it does have some interesting
What the hell?
games. It could happen.
Cobra Kai. Koi.
Oh, wow.
Koi.
Cobra Koi. Texans, Bills, Bucks, Packers. Wow.
Jeez.
Trump took the underdog on everyone. I took the
Yeah, literally.
underdog on 3, but the 49ers, I don't know if I can, in my right conscience, pick them.
Well, the Bills aren't the underdogs. That's the thing. In my opinion, they are, but technically
Lock it
they're.
in,
Look,
baby.
this guy's going to make me pick the Packers on my picks too, bro, because I love picking underdogs. I always pick underdogs.
So if we were to pick for the record, if we were to pick the actual underdogs so that would be the Texans, the Packers, the Bucks, and the Chiefs. The odds are plus 12,706. So $10 would make you $1,280. So, but if we were to switch that slightly, and
Lock in what?
do Texans, Bills, Bucks, Packers, you're still winning $992. So
people
Cobra
that
Koi,
have,
I think you should bet that.
people that have extra money to blow, that's what they do, right? They throw down a peddly bet on all the underdogs. Just because
I mean, I'll throw a $5 on there.
On the off chance that it happens. That's degenerate gambling right there, baby.
For sure.
Give me a VPN or something.
That is 100% degenerate
Lock that
gambling.
in.
If you're just gonna throw in, a few bucks on something you know ain't gonna hit.
We need sounds like lock it in, baby. It'd be cool to be like a lock it in.
Lock it in, baby.
Need a soundboard.
Oh man, that'd be intense. I like it. Supposedly sports betting is gonna be legal, like fully legal here in Texas in like 2025. Like a lot of people like know it's gonna happen or whatever. It's
Not
like,
good for
come
me.
on. Let's do it now.
Yeah, it's time to
Get
get
else
with the
to hold
times.
up.
I mean, we're
Yeah.
already gambling. It's like, come on.
Yeah, you're just changing changing the wording of shit to make it fit fantasy football better than gambling, so you can get through that loophole. I guess I don't know how it works. I just know that I use an app, and this is the one that works in Texas, and the other ones don't.
All right. Well, we're getting towards the limit of our time.
Extra points.
I'll go
All right.
first.
Go ahead.
All right.
Going into the playoffs with only a slight bias, but my main team is out, so gonna keep the discussion to a minimum moving forward. However, my extra point is that the Patriots are going into the next offseason with excellent draft capital and a ton of salary space available, and there are some big ticket free agents coming up. Mike Evans, T. Higgins, among other players. I think if the Patriots were smart, which pending the GM decision, we don't really know. I think the Patriots would be wise to draft Marvin Harrison Jr., then draft a quarterback in the second round, and then sign a veteran to on a discounted rate to kind of bridge the gap and lock up a couple more of those big ticket offensive items, including a linesman. So that's my extra point.
My extra point is Russell Wilson will be the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback next year.
That's a hot take. I like it.
I think in the midst of a playoff tragedy, CJ Stroud is the last hope that we have. I think that if he takes it all the way, it would be one of the best playoff stories, and it would make me very happy. However, if the Texans go down tomorrow and the Browns are already out, sadly, I'm probably going to be rooting for the Bucs.
Yeah.
That's my final take.
Yeah. Baker mania.
Boltman, I'm kind of thinking the same.
It's interesting.
If they let him go, Vrabel's stud, man. I'm fucking pissed at Tennessee.
I just love underdogs, and Baker Mayfield is a guy. Yep, he's a guy.
I have a 1A and a 1B for my extra point. 1A is, the Cowboys broke my heart this week, and it's tough. I've been cranky. I've been angry.
Take your mind off, it'll be fine.
I feel like I'm in multiple stages of mourning all at once because this year really did feel like something a little bit different. I alluded to this.
What we had was special.
I know. I thought I could change them. It happened. I have to get over it. I have the World Series champion Texas Rangers to help me through it, and we are right in the middle of Dallas Stars season. And so, you know what? The show must go on. Dallas Fort Worth Sports for the win.
Cavaliers.
And my 1B is for the remainder of the NFL season, I will be a Lions fan.
Let's go Arlington Renegades, dude.
Yes. Arlington Renegades represent. Let's go for a back-to-back ship, baby.
My 1B is considering the current run, because they're not out of it yet, that the Texans are on. Everyone says, oh, the Dallas Cowboys are America's team. Bro, they're not even Texas's team right now. Okay? CJ Stroud is him. Go Texans.
You watch your fucking mouth.
Go Texans. Yeah. That too, but go Texans.
Yeah, Fred Cobra.
Go Texas.
You don't live here. You don't have the right to say that shit.
You don't even go here.
Look, he's literally got it on his sweater. Does it say Rangers? No, that motherfucker says Texas.
Yep.
Look, it just says Texas. That's what it's about. At the end of the day, no matter what, I don't care the beef or whatever, I'm going for Texas. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Go CJ.
I do
Right.
like CJ Stroud.
Right, what's Vegas
I
from?
like some of his post game stuff. Very devout Christian. I like this kid, but I just can't root for his team. That's all.
All right, gentlemen. I think
All right.
that's that. Hour and a half. I think that's a new record.
Let's go.
All right.